I think the first thing to say when it comes to a word like peace is to recognize that peace is always present. We find this almost impossible. I know I've taught this for so many years. We find it almost impossible to accept the notion that peace is present within anything and everything. And that into that peaceful state, that is our natural state, comes our thinking and our projections about the world, or our memories and our nostalgia, which are constantly pulling us away from this innate, natural feeling of peace. If you go and walk in nature, you'll find there's this feeling of stillness and quietness and peace in nature itself, and you are part of nature, therefore it is part of your nature to be peaceful. But we live such chaotic and crazy lives that we so quickly forget this fundamental truth. That includes even when you're having maybe stressful thoughts or you're very, very emotional. Underneath that, like underneath the sound in your world right now, there is this stillness that is ever present in everything. So peace is not about feeling calm all the time. It's about just remembering that peace when you're walking down the street, or that peace when you're having a heated discussion with your partner, or that peace when you're stressed at work, is always present, and it's underneath all the noise and chaos of our lives. So you don't have to hang on to it. You just have to be aware that it's always present whenever you reconnect with it. So I'm going to give you 4 small devices that you can use that will help remind you of that truth. The first one is really a mindset, and it's the mindset of empowerment. It's to avoid as much as possible feeling like you're a victim, to take responsibility for the things you can control. Obviously, you cannot control aging, you cannot control hunger, you can't control your bodily functions, you can't really control your thoughts in as much as they're always running, but you can take control for the decisions you make, and you can take control of the actions that you take. And obviously, the more we can focus on things that are good and wholesome, and for you that might be different than me at my age. For me, staying up late, going out and drinking, etc. I had such a great time when I was younger, when I used to do that. But for me these days, it doesn't really interest me anymore. And I know that the impact, the long-term impact over the next few days, if I do go out and party, that I feel pretty grim. And I just don't want to feel like that. For me, it's like 4 or 5 days I feel absolutely dreadful. So I just don't do it anymore. So it's about taking responsibility for the decisions you make and for the actions that you engage in your life. And by being a little bit more mindful about those choices and those decisions, about what you choose to eat, the people that you choose to spend time with, that maybe you find that you tend to spend time with people that are constantly down or not particularly jolly or happy, and that maybe you change that and start to spend time with people that really do appreciate the life they have and the things they have in their life. So we can take responsibility not only for our actions, the things we do in our life that bring us wellness and happiness, and also we can take responsibility for the choices that we make, for the things that we eat, etc., and the people that we choose to spend time with. And these things all have a positive or negative impact on our life. For you, it will be different than it is for me. I'm obviously at a different place in my life, possibly, than you. And so the choices and the preferences that I have over time have changed, and that's okay too. It's about fully embracing where you are now in your life and honing the things in your life that bring you well-being and happiness, and making those choices over the things that don't make you feel particularly good and make you feel like you're a victim, that the world is coming at you rather than you are out there taking the world on in a wonderfully positive way. Number 2 is connect with yourself every day. This for you could be surfing every day, it could be going for a walk, it could be journaling, it could be meditating, but spending time where you reconnect with yourself. For me, it's about meditation. It might, some days, it's literally just for 3 minutes where I just sit very, very quietly, hopefully in nature like this, and I connect with the quietness and the stillness in this present moment now. I've got to a point in my life, I've been meditating since I was 15, and I've got to a point in my life where I really, really am enriched by having a regular exercise routine. Some days it's more stretchy and doing stretches and yoga, and some days it's more physical, doing things like running and press-ups and sit-ups. But if you are not at that level, or you're not that physically fit, that doesn't matter either. Just walking and sitting quietly alone without your phone to disconnect yourself from your mobile phone that we're all addicted to, and spend some time reconnecting with who you truly are. And the only way you can do that is not by scrolling on Instagram or endlessly looking at YouTube videos. It's about spending quality time with yourself and forming an intimate relationship with yourself, and that you understand the way your mind works and your needs and habits and desires. And the only route to that is reconnecting with you. Number 3 is go with the flow. And go with the flow, a lot of people refer to this as letting go, but for me it's not about letting go, it's about letting things be. It's actually not possible for you or me or anyone to let go. It's a funny expression, it's a Western expression, but you can learn to let things be, to just trust. It's a very, very difficult thing to do, especially for people that like control, to not be obsessed with the outcome, but just to let things be as they are, and to literally, in Zen they refer to it as watching the river, that rather than being in the river trying to push the river, that you sit on the bank of the river and you watch the world go by, and you become part of that flow too. So you go with the flow of the river. You trust that things will be okay in the relationships you've had and have, and the experiences you have on a daily basis, that not everything requires micromanagement, that you can take your hands off the steering wheel and allow things to just be as they are. So allowing things to be. Number 4 is a big one. It's love. And in my experience, having spent decades investigating what it is to be enlightened, and what it is to be a meditator, and what it is to find peace in your life, I found that when my mind and my body are truly at rest and truly at peace, that there is this overwhelming, unconditional feeling of love. It doesn't require to be reciprocated. It is the natural state of the human being when it's at rest, that it feels this love and it almost radiates out of you. It does sound a bit woo-woo, but I promise you it's not. It's really about being compassionate. It's so easy to be judgmental about other people, or to be judgmental about other. We really love, especially in this present global geopolitical situation we're in, we love to point at the other rather than seeing what connects us and what makes us one. It's such an important thing for us as human beings. We are by nature, we wish to connect. By nature, we wish to connect. And the feeling of prejudice, or the running commentary about prejudice about others, causes this fracture and this feeling of disconnection from the world. Not only do we do it with other people, but we do it with ourselves. You must have noticed that the running commentary in your head is so often so negative, and that makes us feel deeply, deeply unhappy. But when we find stillness and peace, and it's available, I promise you it's available in every moment, it's available to us, that when you truly find that stillness in your life, there is this overwhelming feeling of love And there's this overwhelming feeling of compassion for others. And it's not plastered on, it's not like something you have to practice and get good at. It is the absolute natural state for a human being. If you've ever watched children, when they get to a certain age, when they start walking and talking, they have no concept of other. They don't have this feeling of they're from a different culture or they speak a different language. They connect in whatever way they can, and we are no different. We have just learned that we are separate and that them over there are different. But when we can break down that wall, we break down that wall not by beating it down, but by finding peace in ourselves. We find the struggles and difficulties that we have in our life, they don't go away just because you find peace, but the feelings of difficulty we have in our life, we also begin to see that other people are experiencing the same thing too. And therefore we can feel this feeling of compassion and unconditional love for others. Those are my 4 pillars for peace. I'm really interested if you could let me know in the comments below what out of those for you really resonates. What out of those 4 do you feel I could really do with working on that one? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So please leave a comment, and of course, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.